Annoying, aren't they? Yellow lines. We want to stop for just 5 minutes, but there they are, glaring out of the gutter at us. Single yellow lines, double yellow lines, saying, you can't park here. Well, why can't we park here? Have they just been put here to annoy us? Well, no. They've been put there because of safety. Safety for pedestrians. Safety for other road users. In Felixstowe, most people comply with parking restrictions. But there are a few places where yellow lines are treated as though they were decoration. There are some folks that park on yellow lines when they shouldn't, and often for good measure, they even park over the pavement as well. But I guess if we're really honest, most of us are parked illegally at some time or other. Why do we do it? Well, for most people who ignore parking restrictions, it's because they want to just go somewhere for just a few minutes, maybe into a shop to buy a newspaper or something like that. And after all, we think, well, we're not going to be causing too much of a problem. I'm only going to be there for a minute. And of course, for most of us, we think or hope or expect that we're not going to be caught. Illegal parking is trivial compared to others who break the law in more serious ways. Why do road traders take chances with other people's money? Why did MPs fiddle their expenses? Why did staff at newspapers engage in illegal acts like phone hacking? Why did people decide to riot and join in the looting of shops in London and other cities last year? We know that the reasons why people decide to break the law can be complex and perhaps very individual. But in many cases, people break the law because they don't think they're going to get caught, let alone go through the humiliation of arrest and court. And when they were caught, politicians, and the newspaper people in particular, openly stated how sorry they were for what they did. But were they really sorry? Or just sorry that they got caught? The gravity of issues may be different to parking on double yellow lines, but motive may well be the same. People think that no one's going to bring them to account for their actions. And when someone does, they may try to evade the issue, or cover things up, or tell lies, or even complain bitterly that they're the victims of injustice and protest their innocence. You've probably guessed where I'm going with this. Because it begs this question: does the absence to enforce mean that non-compliance is acceptable? Does it mean that if there's no one there to bring us to account, that doing something wrong is okay? Actually, if we look at Felixstowe's double yellow lines, then by and large the answer is that in public, most people are law-abiding citizens. But what about things that we know to be morally wrong? If we don't think there's anyone to catch us, then are we more likely to do something that we know to be morally wrong? And after all, who knows our thoughts anyway? Well, what about God? The Bible's description of him is, "You are the God who sees me." It also says that each of us will give account of ourselves to God. The danger is, if people think that there's no enforcement, or they're unlikely to get caught, then maybe they'll be more likely to do something that's wrong, or be tempted to do something that's wrong. Or do we think that God just doesn't exist, or if he does, then he's not going to do anything about it? But the moral of recent events has been that there are CCTV cameras, and people who looted shops have been brought to justice as a result. That the MPs who thought that it could get away with fiddling their expenses have been brought to account. And the newspaper journalists who thought it was okay to hack other people's mobile phones have also been brought to account. And parking on double yellow lines? Well, there are traffic wardens and police here in Felixstowe. And what about God? What about the God who sees everything that we do and knows all our thoughts? If that's something that worries you at this start of a new year, then maybe you need to know Jesus. Thanks for listening, and God bless you.